Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, for the Bahrain GP Classic League this evening. Ben will be joining us in the commentary box at some point later. Not sure when that will be. I believe it will be somewhere towards the start of the race. So obviously last week, if you haven't already seen it, it's both live on our Facebook and our YouTube pages. But we do have a championship leader at the minute, which is Kyle, who is currently ahead of Regan and AJ Wuhan. So tonight the cars will be the McLaren MP4-4 round Bahrain. Obviously it's fixed setups, short qualifying, 25% distance, and medium traction control is enforced for this. So it gives the drivers quite the challenge, especially when the turbo kicks in these cars. But we will take you now live into the session, as I believe we've got some cars already looking to go out on to the track. And for whatever reason, that's decided to resize itself. So you, ladies and gentlemen, you'll have to bear with me just a second. So the big question I've got for this evening is, can anyone get close to Kyle? Because last week out in Austria, he was absolutely supreme. But we will go on board with Cosmos, who is the first car on track. And these cars are absolutely amazing. The back end already kicking out there for one of the drivers. So obviously Bahrain, under the lights, one of the best circuits for overtaking, usually creates a fascinating race. All the drivers must make one pit stop regardless of when that is in the race. They have to take a pit stop. So no one can get too far out in front and just disappear. Obviously safety cars and such are turned on as normal. So for me, from the tips I've had, I believe Regan is one to watch for tonight. He had some supreme pace in his practice. So hopefully he'll carry that through to this qualifying session. Obviously, we do only have 17 minutes for the drivers to set times. Sometimes it can be faster as well to do 2 runs on these tyres to get them up to heat, etc, etc. That inside curb there, you've just gone past, I believe, turn 9, I want to say. I could be entirely wrong. Curbs you want to miss. In these cars, realistically, you want to be missing every single curb. If you hit a curb, there's a high chance that you're spinning the car, is the best way of putting it. But as we go on board with Cosmos then, who's about to start, let's get us underway for the session, as Ben has joined the session, so I believe he'll be joining us in the commentary box in a moment. As you go on board now down the straight, these incredible cars. To get a bit of lag there for some reason, but down into turn 1, braking about the 100-meter board, get the front end turned in nicely, just missed that curve there. You can ride that one a little bit. You can see the driver fighting the wheel all the time, as Cosmos appears to have a bit of desync. Staying on board with him anyway. Obviously only 6 gears in these cars, which is one more than the gears we had last week in the Ferraris. You can see the driver constantly, every time you go on the throttle in these cars, especially at low gears, it just wants to kick out. So it'll be a challenge through the race to keep the cars on track. As again, the back end gets away from Cosmos a little bit there as he touches that inside curve, waits to get back on the power. So you got the car pointing straight. Down into one of the hardest corners on the game, I would say. It's so easy to run in deep there. Looks like he's just about got the car stopped. Back on the throttle, he goes then down the second straight of the lap. How much speed do you want to carry in? Goes in at about 80 miles per hour, which is a good speed to carry through the corner back on the power. You do not want to touch this inside curve. It will send you spinning no matter what car you're driving. Down the the third straight now of the lap, sorry. One more corner to go, and you can throw away so much time in this corner by hitting the inside curve too much or running too wide out of the corner. Looks like he's got that pretty nailed through there, back on the power. No DRS obviously in these cars, and across the line, what time are we looking at? It's a 1:39.4, which is a pretty decent lap time there. So I believe we now have Ben with us. Yeah.
Box.
I've unmuted your mic for you now. I forgot I had it muted. So there we go. The person I said to watch out for, Regan, has gone top on a 1:39.2, which is a pretty rapid time. I think we'll be seeing a pole time somewhere in the late 38s. Go find. Is he on a lap? Where is Kyle? So Ben, your thoughts on these cars?
Beautiful, aren't they? Not as beautiful as the Ferraris last week, but that really depends on the team that you support and you favour. But yeah, beautiful cars, a lot of history.
You're you've still got your mic turned on in the game as well.
Oh, good.
At least everyone's getting a double dose of commentary from you this evening.
I thought I'd mute it, sorry.
On a 43 then, not a good laugh at all from him, so I must have made a mistake. Where's Tristan on board with him? So Ben, you love Bahrain, what can you tell us about it?
Oh, your favourite tracks? Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? Dust bowl that it is. Have to work hard to find a barrier, you know. A bit like France in that sense. Well, you know, when you're a top driver, you don't find the barriers that easily.
I'm sure Schumacher found one in qualifying. Don't you say he's the greatest of all time? So Tristan coming into the pits, got board with Apex then, who's on a lap.
That was mechanical failure, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
That was not. He did not run out of talent.
He made a choice in his brain that he was going into a barrier to keep a pole position. You're right.
You know, just one of those things in sport.
It's one of the most unsportsmanlike things I've ever seen. And I've been on track with you a lot of times, so.
Oh yeah, that's the good one. Just to think, I ran all the way here, just to
what? Give my sitting there the whole time.
That's not true. Had to go and get, some liquids.
Some liquids, alright, that's how you're putting it. So, Apex at the minute. So, Ben, do you think anyone can challenge Carl to the title? Because he looked pretty damn quick last time out round Austria.
He did indeed.
So then the answer to that is Kyle.
Comes in the lap to go through. The rest of it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, fantastic track.
From time to time.
Yeah, I've had a bit of pace around here from time to time. Not enough at the time.
So Liam is off.
I was going to say, exploring the track, showing us some of the barriers.
Nah, he's probably heard that he couldn't find.
And he's lost half of front wing as well. So.
On board with there at the minute, who's riding the curbs. Not something you want to be doing in these cars. My favourite thing about these is you touch the throttle pedal in the low gears and the boost just kicks right in.
Proper driver's car.
That's what you're calling it? The driver's car?
Yeah.
Nah.
Why not?
Can't say I don't respect that. Kyle's still pushing?
I was going to say, it's one thing having the turbo kick in on a road car, but it's a completely different animal with it in these cars.
So. Was Dan nearly found out there? These cars are making some interesting noises, is what I'm learning.
It's all about the little gear stick at the right hand side. How beautiful.
Click onto that at some point. One of the I believe this is the most dominant car of all time as well. Statistically speaking.
There's just a traffic jam going into the pit lane.
Yeah.
Don't know what is happening there.
Are they just... Has the game glitched, or... Because none of them seem to be particularly moving into the pit lane at any great speed.
What is happening
Apparently
there?
5 miles per hour is the new...
You don't want to have an accident, do you? So,
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what example you're going to pull. We don't need to pull the example out of the bag.
As we talk about Bahrain 2018. A race dominated by Sebastian Vettel. On a small incident in the pit lane with the Ferrari mechanics.
I thought you were thinking of something else. I thought I was going to hear about Canada 08 or something.
No, not yet. We'll wait for that when we get to Canada.
So on board with Puppy at the minute, one of the few cars that's not caught in this traffic jam in the pit lane. Can you let me know if any of them actually get back into their pit box at any time?
No, Kyle's just doing 5 miles an hour. I'd love to know who the other... Oh, there's a few of them. Apex, Brian, Rayner. This is amazing. Shh.
Who's at the back of this queue?
No.
Because I'm just looking at the track map and it's not looking
This
healthy.
Is amazing, isn't it? This is Codemasters at its absolute best.
Well, I know that, pit stops never used to be quick back in the day, but surely this is taking the...
Yeah, but you never used to have a speed limit back in 88. So yeah.
Those were the days. I think we should go back to it personally.
Yeah, I'd like to see a return of refueling as well.
Nah, that was dull for the racers.
You know, I don't think it was.
Yeah, I know what race you're going to suggest as well. That was
Particularly brilliant.
Let me guess. Somewhere in France.
Yeah, 2004 France Ferrari, the famous four-stop. Don't think it's ever been replicated.
I believe they've now got back into their pit boxes.
So you've drove these cars. We'll stop waffling on now. You've drove these cars. You were in the car earlier, taking it for a few laps. What were your thoughts?
Difficult to find time out of, honestly, and stay consistent. The car doesn't really want to stop. Equally, it doesn't really want to get on the power nicely either. So it's a bit of a dog. So I'm not sure how it was so dominant, but
Is it one of those cars where it's easier to run no traction control, or
no.
do you definitely need traction control for these?
Well, obviously, all the drivers tonight are restricted to medium traction control, which I think is the perfect one for these. Equally, if you can master it on no traction control, you'll be rapid, but at the same time, as we're seeing Puppy demonstrate right now what the car does when you do slam on the power.
Yeah, let's go and find Puppy. Where is he?
Yeah, he's in P14 at the minute, just coming
P14, getting into the heart of the apex.
The part where Seb decided to spin himself round.
Yeah, run out of grip that day.
Puppy's a tenth up on his time. You can see he's trying to get on the power. You don't want to be on that curb. You lose time. Car bottoms out so much. Tries to get the car
make sure you get it slowed down, my friend. A couple of stabs at the wheel, trying to get it out of the corner. The rear's snaking around.
I think that was the best thing about seeing the onboards of these cars back in the day. Seeing Senna hustle a car like this around Monaco.
Yeah.
What a sight. You've never seen anything like it in Formula 1, I'd say.
It's a bit harsh. I've seen Damon Hill hustle a car around Monaco.
Yeah. Less said about that, the better. We've got a car just parked on the track. I'm not sure who that was as Puppy's gone past him. I do want to see Puppy. Oh, he's invalidated the lap. Regan, though, he's going for another lap. He's just down in his time at the minute in the green and black helmet as the disc glow red in the nighttime Bahraini evening. That's what I'll call it.
And hopefully this... Oh, there. He must have literally parked on track. So who are we on board?
I'm currently on board with Regan.
Oh, hopefully that car goes and it did. That would have unsettled me. I don't know what it done to Regan.
Yeah, I'd a little bit inside for Regan. You can see just trying to get back on the power. The car wants nothing to do with you. But these cars are absolutely fabulous. I think you'd enjoy these, Ben. The big rear tyres do give you some grip, but at the same time, the 1,000 horsepower that comes out of nowhere. Yeah, let's just say these turbos aren't as refined as the modern day ones as Regan comes back into.
I was going to say these V6. What are they? 1.5 litre turbos?
Oh, whatever they are is terrifying. I'll get some facts about the cars for you, Ben, 'cause I know you're a...
Statistically, it holds the record for the most dominant single season with a win percentage of 9. Yeah, but you didn't give me a win percentage. 93.8.
All but one race. Some may say it was not the most dominant car of all time. Win percentage-wise, yes. Absolute dominance, no. We'll go find ourselves a Cosmos.
I assume we're referring back to the Ferrari early 2000s.
I was thinking of the 2016 Mercedes. Did a much
oh yes, one at the hands of Nico.
Yeah, that's the the Nico mobile.
Yeah,
the mucky machine itself. Oh.
Right, let's actually get on with the track action. We've got 4 minutes to go now.
At the minute, he's battling with a throttle to try and get this car round.
Rayner's off track somewhere into the first sector. He isn't allowed that though, so probably getting out of the way.
So Apex at the minute coming up towards the final corner, slams on the brakes, gets the car turned in, misses the Apex there. Will he get the car straightened up for a better run through the final corner? He's aiming at a 140 that he's got at the minute. Has he improved? He hasn't. He's got a tenth slower. What's Shade up to in his car? Kyle's back on track, so if he's improving, Ben, let me know.
Yes, I'd love to drive. I'd love to drive in this race. It looks fantastic.
Correct skill level.
Yeah, there is a skill issue. There's a capacity issue as well. The league is full.
No, there is that. Palisades off the track there. What I love about these
Apex
cars
is all over the place in the first sector.
Slow speed corners want nothing to do with you.
Look at the simplistic front wing though. Just one big front wing plane.
I imagine it's how you design a car.
Simple, effective, dominant.
So where is the current pole sitter? Kyle. He's about to come through the second sector beam. Here he comes. What's he going to give us? He's a 10th up then in. Going to put some daylight between. AJ Wuhan's gone into P2. Just fractionally behind Kyle, but Kyle improving all the time down the straight. I imagine he's got pretty sweet extra.
Regan is on his outlet. What surprises me though is Kyle was dominant in Austria last weekend, and now the field are closing back up to him. So he may not have it all his own way this race. I hope he does.
Time there, so we'll go on board with Regan. We've got 2 minutes left in the session. This will probably be Regan's last lap. He throws the anchors on to get the car turned into the final corner, back on the power now. So Ben, give us a lap of Bahrain.
We're on Portal Regan.
We are.
Right, fine. I'm just making sure I'm on the right screen. As we approach turn 1 now, we're going to throw the anchors out a little bit sooner. Gets into the apex there, swings round. There's the CP's tower on the right, back on the throttle now. A little bit too much of the curb there. The rear didn't want to know about it as the turbo kicked in. Throws the anchors out about 90 metres, get the car rotated back in, waits a little while to get back on the throttle. As we go and over the first sector line of 35.1, as we start dropping down the hill now, he's 2 tenths off. As he slows the car down, gets it rotated right all over the apex there nicely, gets back on the throttle. Here we go. Probably the hardest corner on the track.
Terrible in these cars.
Regan's trying to pull for any downshifts that's there. Back on the throttle now. Down the straight. Giving it a little wiggle.
Ooh.
Left-handed there, drops 2 gears. He will listen to the car now. Oh, Rayner goes P1, 39
what
flat.
A lap there from Rayner.
As we just listen
Regan
now to the engine.
Down. So we've gone board with AJ Wuhan. Oh, as Kyle sets their 38.
Yeah.
Wow.
So everyone's improving. I don't think Regan is.
Yeah, he's not.
As he breaks out into the final corner, gets the car rotated in, back on the throttle now. Give it a little flick for the people. Probably a little bit too much of a flick. Got too much wheel spin over the line. That's P4.
So go on board with Cosmos, who is the last driver, I think, who's going to get a lap in. Yeah,
literally just going to make it over the line.
So can Cosmos make it count in the final dying moments of qualifying? He comes up towards turn 1, slams out the anchors at 120 metres, gets the car turned in. Sweet on that apex, but he's left himself a bit wide and compromised his line down the straight. Gets the car turned in nicely there, doesn't want to stamp on the power too much. You can ask Sebastian what happens when you do that, the back end will leave you. As he's 5 tenths up in the first sector.
Oh, fair play. Stumps on the throttle now as he turns to the terrifying turn 9. Braking, downshifted, turning left. So easy to get it wrong. Just about gets it right. Back on the throttle now for Cosmos. Only a couple more difficult corners. Then he's near enough home and hosed. There we go, nicely on the throttle there.
Back end trying to jump away from him.
Yeah. Back up. Purple middle sector, 7 tenths up.
He's flying at the minute, is Cosmos, the last man that crossed the line. The back end gets away from him a little bit there, but here he goes.
This is going to be tight for pole
position.
He's
1 corner away from home. Can he get it nailed into here? That looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'd be happy with that.
So Cosmos then across the line. Can he take pole position away from Kyle? Oh, no, he's a 10th away.
So close. Come on, look at that. Look at the top 4. That's pretty tight. That's good.
As Kyle crawls across the line, does a little weave in celebration. Don't think we've got any more cars on the lap, so we don't. So, your pole position man, for a second week in a row, I believe, is Kyle. So flying in these classic cars. Cosmos taking P2, Regan P3, and Rayner in P4. What a lap there from Rayner. I bet he's pretty happy with that.
No, I'd be pretty happy.
His Daz has just said he ran out of fuel, and that's why he got a DQ. So, oh, look how tight that is between the top two.
Yeah, it's not. Kyle's got some competition this week, which is fantastic.
So, got Kyle in P1, Cosmos P2, Regan 3, 4, Rayner, AJ Wuhan 5, Hixie in 6, 7th. We've got Brian, then Tristan Apex, Narneel, Devils, Ross, Shade, Puppy, Dragon, Evans, Liam, and then Dare, who got disqualified for running out of fuel. So, Ben, pick a podium. We won't go with the winner, we'll say pick a podium.
Kyle, Rayner, Regan.
In that order?
No.
In any order?
It's an each way bet. So.
Ben giving his betting tips out.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't gamble. You know, when the fun stops, stop. All that good stuff.
So, just waiting at the minute for the drivers to set their strategy, set their fuel, and then they'll get underway for a formation lap that Kyle is getting to know pretty well, leading it from the front. Ben, you've had the joyous position, I believe, before leading the formation lap. What is it you're trying to look at and work on as you're going around?
Just soak in the moment. Doesn't happen often, you know.
Not the expert analysis I was looking for on that, but
you know, you gotta, you know, you've got many things to control. Tyre temp, you've got your brake temps. You want to keep the pack closely bunched together. You've got some fools that do like to drop off and leave a bit of a gap in the middle, which is particularly difficult. You could be sat on the line for a good 30 or 40 seconds as we go.
Are we away? We are for the formation lap as we see a lot of McLaren's wheels.
There was a panic then. I was like, are we on formation? That was quite a panic moment.
Until I saw... Oh, we've got a Dare that's decided to spin himself at the start. It's an interesting way of warming your tyres up, my friend.
You do need to do a couple of burnouts on the formation lap.
Brian for this. He's in the center gear. Wow.
Nice touch there.
So, Ben, you won't make a call on who you think's going to... Oh, we've got another car spinning at the back. Is that
we got...
still?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we got a car right off at the back. What a sight. A grid full of 1988 McLarens. Beautiful. A centre helmet in the middle.
So, Ben, we'll go back to you again just to see if we can get an actual answer from you. You're leading a formation lap. What is it you're trying to work on? What are you looking at?
I thought I answered it properly. No. Tyre temps, you've got your brake temps, you've got to keep the grid all bunched up together nicely. So you've got many things to try and control. You don't want to sit at the front for too long, you know. Sometimes if you're the leader and you just mind your own business and don't look at the track now, you could be sat at the front for a good 30-40 seconds. So there's many things.
These cars are going to be interesting off the start line.
I was going to say I would be shifting up into third and fourth as quickly as possible. Not the word I
thought you were about to say.
I would be going up that gearbox on that McLaren quicker than a seamless shift gearbox. I've been given everything.
I think I'd be into fifth as soon as I could. Because usually when the wheel spin tends to stop a little bit. Don't seem to have many gaps in the pack. His car seems to have wound up just a little bit. As he cuts a corner there on the formation lap. Wouldn't recommend that. You get a bit of dust on your tyres from the dust bowl, as Ben called it. Oh, it was Kyle. Interesting there from him. Decides he wanted to go see what the barrier looked like before the race starts.
Yeah, it's good to go and, make an appearance in the crowd, try and get close to them.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a feel for the action.
Close to the barriers. So Kyle comes around the final corner then. I might put some money on Tristan getting on the podium.
I hope so.
I've got faith in young Tristan.
If Kyle and Rayner get on the podium, I'll definitely be thinking this leads a fix. The two guys that organised it have probably been practicing for months, and I'm going to stick to that theory if they both get on the podium.
So as Evil Hunter parks his car up, just waiting on Dare to put his car into his grid position in P18. We wait now for the 5 lights to be lit up, and then I imagine the CP somewhere in his tail pressing the button to get this race underway. We've got 4, 5 lights. We wait. The lights have gone out and away we go. What's the start light?
I think Kyle's had a lot of wheel spin.
Awful start.
Oh Lord, look at the back.
So Cosmos has gone up into the lead. Rayner's making no, was that Regan making a move?
So Regan's into P3.
No,
Cosmos
someone's gone spinning. Who was that?
Let's try and find. We have Wuhan spinning his car back round.
Tristan down in last place, missing half his front wing.
That's a long way back as well.
Puppy up 8 positions.
Got
7
Puppy.
positions, but come on, Puppy. Dragon on Speed also up 6 positions. Great from them. Regan's still
close
in
at the front there between Cosmos and the Evil.
We've got a set of spinners.
Yeah.
Who are the spinners?
We've got Dragon on Speed going very slowly off the track.
Yeah, he was spinning. Cosmos. Yeah. Kyle was back in the lead of this race then once more. He's got Regan all over the back of him. Will he go for the move up the inside here? He's got his car there. Will he stick with it? That was close racing there between Cosmos and Regan. Great from the two of them.
Yeah.
Fine with them. I'm saying don't let Kyle check out.
I was going to say Regan's got to get this move done if he thinks he's got the pace. Because the worst thing that can happen is Kyle checks out, as you said.
So at the minute, they seem to be sticking well with him.
So the guy who had the best opening lap was Dare, up 8 positions, but a huge shout out to Puppy, up 7 positions.
Rayner comes across
Regan's
the line, at the minute all over the back of
Regan's sticking it on the inside. Just back as he's slowed down. A little bit of bumping and grinding between the cars. Regan's up in 2nd place now and chases after Kyle.
9/10 at the front. These two need to work with each other if they want to win. They can't afford to keep battling. Hixley all over the back of Brian.
So we've got Tristan who's stayed out with half the front wing.
Does he know it's missing?
He knows something that we don't about aerodynamics.
Oh, maybe he's got Adrian on speed though. He took some pictures and sent it to him.
Yeah.
Did we have any pretty pit?
We had Devil's Pit, who is P18. So we got Kyle now, 8/10 the gap at the front. So Regan's doing a great job of holding on to him.
BFD Ross all over the back of Puppy. Puppy goes wide then through the corner. You can just see them soaring at the steering wheel.
Yeah, I can see Puppy. I'm on board with BFD Ross and watching Puppy's rear end weaving around as he's trying to get any sort of traction.
Both gone through it. Puppy closes the door then.
Puppy was a bit bold there on the defence, but he was the car in front. So gap at the front static at 9/10.
Kyle sets the fastest lap than a 41.5.
Regan done a 41.6.
Anyone else close? Sorry, as we're just going to go on board with BFD Ross, who has got his way past the Puppy. Will Puppy be outlandish on the brakes? He's going to try it. A bit of his own peril, unfortunately, for him.
He's still doing a great job.
At the minute. Ooh, Liam.
So Regan's gained 3/10 in the first sector. Purple first sector. Yeah, it went a little bit deep there.
Of cars. So we've got a... Ooh, that's close. Liam and Apex there going wheel to wheel. It's one good thing about this track. I think it's one of my favourites of wheel-to-wheel action.
Yeah, it always encourages, fantastic wheel-to-wheel action. Because Evil is going defensive. Don't understand why. It's pretty early.
Maybe it's his driving.
Regan's got some great pace at the minute.
This Tristan might know something about aerodynamics we don't, because he has actually started to close up on the pack.
It is on
Cosmos has
reduced,
just
isn't
picked
it?
himself up a 3-second time penalty. It might be, but I mean, it's missing half of its wing. It's not like it's an end plate. It's a wing. So as Kyle and Regan then come through the final corner.
So who'd you rather be in this situation?
Regan.
Great lap there, 41.4.
As he's just closing down this straight. So Tristan has moved a position on Devils as they're all giving a weave down the straight.
I was going to say, they're going to...
Liam's into the pits, so...
Yeah. Liam and Dragon in the box. So we've got Tristan going into turn 1 side by side.
So he's going on board with Rayner, who's all over the back of Hixie at the minute. I think he's got more pace than him and he'll be wanting to get past as soon as possible.
I was going to say, if Rayner gets these moves done, he's still got a decent shout. No, he's gapped a leader at the minute. It's only 4.5 seconds.
And with the pit stops, obviously, I don't know, if you're Rayner, could you maybe pit now, see where you come out?
Well, Kyle showed last week, didn't he, that an early box does pay off. You know, you get the track position, you can pump in some decent laps.
Then just sit out and coast as he did, and then what was it, the final lap he put in his fastest?
Yeah, so if I could see a decent bit of track, I'd be very tempted to go and do it. Field spread is quite big at the minute, though. So,
closing in on shade at the minute.
Yeah, Regan 4 tenths off Kyle, 3 tenths. Getting into the slipstream. Identical setups, cars, everything. This is going to be down to pure grip and talent.
Kyle decides to stick on the curb, then he's
as Kyle goes and as they're both boxed together, I don't think I'd have done that. If I was Regan, I'd be staying out.
So at the minute, Cosmos can put in some good times. He does have a penalty, but if he can start pumping in some times, he's got the clean air ahead of him now.
So what's happening in the pits then? Regan's out his pit box now. Kyle gets out just ahead of him.
Where are they going to rejoin?
So they have got the clear track. They have got... as the car just goes past of Tristan, I believe. Yeah, Tristan just goes ahead. So they've got to clear Tristan. They've probably got a good 6 to 8 seconds gap. If I was Regan,
Regan just got a 3-second penalty as well.
Yeah, if I was Regan, I would have gambled and stayed out.
So you've got a yellow.
As we've got Evans above, off at turn 1, getting it back onto track now.
Apex into
so
the pit
what we've got to look at now is Cosmos pace versus the two guys that are boxed, Evil and Regan. So I'll keep on that. At the minute, let's just bear in mind the gap is 22.3 seconds for leader for Evil Hunter. So we'll just keep an eye on that. But Cosmos can just keep extending the gap. Regan's got to get this move done on track now. He's not going to do it on strategy.
Gonna say, stay on board with that battle at the minute. You've got a spinner of that.
Tristan's off wide, so Evil's through. So is Regan.
And Tristan just let them both through.
Yeah. He went off wide, I think, and thought better of it. Smart race.
These two do not need to lose time in the traffic. They need to get through, and they're both getting through it together at the minute. Devils is all over the back of... There's been so we've got Rayner and Hixie both into the pit.
So we got Rayner in the box, yeah. Taking on a new set of boots.
Away they go. So where are they going to rejoin relative to Tristan?
Tristan's just ahead of them into turn 1. Tristan goes a little bit deep into turn 1, but I don't think he'll mind too much. There's Regan still all over the back of Evil Hunter. Gap is 22.7, so gap has extended 3 or 4 tenths.
The minute AJ Wuhan attacking on Shade.
That's a purple first sector for Regan. We've got a yellow flag.
Car off at turn 1, I think it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pointing the wrong way.
Down the pit straight, they come again. Pit straight?
What surprises me is that
wrong part of the track. Sorry.
Yeah. What surprises me is I think Regan's got the better pace, and why Regan didn't go and use that clear air up front. He may rue it.
We've got a bit of a gap in front of the boys now. Shade, AJ has got past Shade then. Look how close these lot are to each other on track as they come down towards the final corner.
Cosmos in the box. So that's the race leader going in for a new set of boots.
Go on board with him and see where he's going to rejoin.
Oh, the game glitched for me then. I thought he was having a bit of a mare in the pit box. So where is he? He's got some charging McLarens coming after him.
Race.
As he lets go the speed limiter now. This is going to be close into turn 1 with him. He's going side by side.
So he's made a position on Regan. As Regan puts himself through.
Oh, this is close.
Regan gives him a tap off the track there.
But what's interesting about that is the overcut nearly worked. I think if Cosmos had boxed a lap earlier when the gap was at 20...
at the minute and Rayner. That's a close battle between these lot. Got 3 cars within 2/10 of each other.
Yeah, I think if Cosmos had boxed just a lap earlier when the gap was at 22.9, he'd have come out in front.
Has got those pressure tyres though, so can he do anything with them? So we're halfway through this race a minute, Ben. Podium.
But no, I don't think I'm going to have Rayner on that podium.
Rain seems to go backwards in this race all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll swap him out of my podium lineup. It's looking pretty good for Evil Hunter, Regan, and Cosmos. At the moment, they've done their boxes. They're all pretty close. For Rayner, hits a bit of the curb and gets a bit of wheel spin.
So this group at the minute giving us the tightest battle on track as the race
leader goes up the inside there.
Tristan off the circuit. Interestingly,
he gets a penalty for his troubles.
Yeah, he wasn't even accelerating. I feel a bit bad for him for that.
So Rayner's eyeing up, not
eating the curbs, and it's costing him time because look at Tristan with half his wing.
Tristan goes in the box.
Will he get his wing repaired? I'm going to stay on board and see if that gets changed. No, the McLaren boys have picked up a wing.
There he goes, with some front downforce now. So Puppy in P2 at the minute.
Sorry, just on board with Dragon as he's about to make the move. On Apex down the pitch straight. Signed, sealed, delivered.
On yours.
Apex, sorry, yeah, going past. It's one thing I don't like about the classic cars, I can't really tell who's in what car.
Well, yeah, it's fairly difficult.
Yellow T1.
So Regan is losing a bit of ground to Evil Hunter. Gap is a second. They are coming up behind a Puppy though. Puppy up 12 positions at the minute. Still needs to box.
I'm going to go on board with Kyle then, as he's making his way up towards the P2 man Puppy. Don't know if Puppy will actually yield to them.
No.
Got Hixie off the track, so I don't know if him and Rayner have had a coming together there.
So Evil Hunter is net leader at the moment. Just double check that AJ Wuhan box. No.
Missing half his front wing.
Oh, what a shame. So Evil Hunter's eyeing up Puppy.
I think that move's done.
Yeah, Puppy didn't fight that one too much. Led this race for about 300 metres. Evil went a little... The Puppy went a bit deep there, sorry.
Yeah, he's got Regan all over the back, and as Regan steps on the power, that turbo kicks in and he's about to fly past Puppy.
Yeah, smart racing there. By Puppy, realising this isn't his battle.
Puppy though, 9 laps on these tyres.
Yeah, very decent. He does have to box. If he is listening, I hope he does. I don't want him to get disqualified because He is going to get some points. If Puppy boxes now, he's going to come out round P9.
So at the minute, Kyle checking out again 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I think Regan's going to rue it.
So on board with Liam then. Another yellow in sector 1. Is that Dare off the track again? He is not enjoying these cars.
If Rainer gets himself a little wiggle on.
Oh, on board with Puppy is an experience. This car is wiggling.
It's just got no grip.
Kyle's starting to extend that gap up front. We'll go on board with Neil, who's all over the back of Devil's Nightmare at the minute. 6/10 gap between them. Make that 5.99. Not back up to 6/10. Should have stuck with it.
I think Puppy's going off into the pit lane. He is.
Kyle sets another fastest lap race of 41.
Pumps in a very nice lap time.
A display.
Yeah, 41 flat. That's impressive to time it so perfectly.
I think we just had a car reset on track. I could be wrong.
This Puppy's got himself a new set of boots now to go for the final couple of laps.
Where is the Puppy going to rejoin? I'm on board with Neil, who's coming down the pit straight in P9.
Yeah, he'll be coming down P9. So hopefully Puppy was listening, and then he did listen to me, because I've just got him a P9. If Rainer could just pick up the pace just a little bit and get the move done on Brian, he'll get a P3. About 5 laps ago, we were saying he keeps going backwards in this race, and he's silently just gone about his business.
So all the drivers have now made their pit stops, so we shouldn't be seeing any more at the minute. Kyle is checking out at the front. The gap hovering between 1.3 and 1.7. It keeps changing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a anticlimax. Let's go with that. In the sense of, I think if Regan had stayed out...
I think Regan could have won this race.
Yeah, I think if Regan would have stayed out, he showed in the first opening laps that he had the pace.
Hopefully, this is not the end of the fun part of the race. Hopefully, with 4 laps to go, some of the gaps start to close a little bit as it's stagnated just a tad. 3-second penalty for BFD Ross then for multiple warnings. Seems like each driver's good at a certain part of the track is what I'm learning, compared to the others that they seem to be racing. I've won, he's great through the corners. As Brian sets the fastest lap of the race.
Decent lap of 40.9. As we've got Liam the soft.
Leader.
Liam's spun the car.
Cosmos is...
No, it's Cosmos, sorry. As he retires on track.
Stewards do not take kindly to retirements on track, let that be known.
Nah. I was going to say, they'll probably be asking for a copy of the footage.
So Neil at the minute chasing down Devil, the closest pal on track. I could be wrong. I am. Because Hixie and Shade going at it down the straight. Shade at the minute just behind the rear wings. He pulls out now down the main straight. He'll try outbrake Hixie into turn 1.
Who's braver on the brakes? Shade goes all over the curb.
Hixie is through then on that. The gap at the front closing just by a few tenths. Nothing to shout home about yet. We know Kyle has got a pin when he needs to pull it.
Yeah, Kyle looks supreme.
Yeah.
Almost makes me want to get the helmet back on. Give him a run for his money.
Sector 3, who have we got spinning? Tell you who's actually impressed me. Brian's had an excellent race. He's at 4 positions into the podium. BFD Ross up 7. Puppy up 5.
Yeah, some guys have really worked hard today. Made some really good positions. Regan a 40.8 to go fastest lap of the race. There is some
Regan,
pace
then,
left.
There's the intent. There's Rainer's fastest lap, a 40.8. AJ Wuhan closing the gap as well. On the
burning off the fuel load, they've got enough grip. Evans above getting himself a penalty.
So now is the part of the race where apparently if you've got the pace, show us what you've got, boys.
So what's the closest battle on track at the minute? Closest battle is Narneal versus Devil's Nightmare.
Yeah, I was on board with Wuhan and BFD Ross. That's a gap that's been slowly closing.
So
Regan
these
just doesn't
boys have
seem
got...
to be able to get within that 1 second.
No.
Because Kyle's responding again. Seems to be a thing for Kyle. If anything you guys can do, I'll one-up you. What a position that must be. Yeah, he's already put 2/10 in this lap, so he's flying at the minute. Absolutely supreme out front. Reminds me of like a Lewis Hamilton at Silverstone. Anything people can throw at him, he's got something to answer with.
Wow.
The best to show with.
Mm.
Well, I could say Sebastian Vettel in Malaysia if it would make you happy.
No, just, you know... I just remember a Ferrari victory at Silverstone.
I remember how that victory came.
In 2018.
We've had it at the minute. Will he got the inside of BFD? Ross, he won't. Let's just remember that Kimi did have something to do with that victory, and I believe Lewis finished second.
Oh,
Kyle absolutely smashes the fastest lap out of the park and says, Regan, if you want me, come and get me.
I don't think it's going to happen this week, though, around this track.
No,
in these cars.
To go. Hopefully when the downforce starts to come onto the cars, we'll get some closer races for Kyle, because at the minute he just seems to have ridiculous pace. Obviously next week the MP4-6, so another McLaren for Kyle, this time around Canada. Yeah, just to say, the gap at the front just seems to have stagnated quite a lot between all of them. Kyle,
yeah, I was going to say,
fast lap.
Everyone's just around the same sort of, well, not everyone's just lapping around the same sort of pace as their
Regan
nearest competitor.
He's done a 140.6 is his best. Rayner 40.8. Brian 40.9, and then you've got this BFD Ross. His fastest is a 42 flat, and he is somehow sat in front of Wuhan, who's doing 41.2s.
I don't think he's going to be sat there much longer, though.
No, he's all over the back of him.
He's got a couple of miles left to get this move done.
He pulls down the H-box on the McLaren. There's even a H-box in these. Whoa!
Wow.
BFD Ross is off the track!
No, he's
retired the car.
Straight to the scene of the accident, got too much with a real wheel spin.
Circuit.
Yeah. As Kyle goes around now for his final couple of miles on the track.
So an absolutely dominant performance yet again from Kyle, so it seems. Got a lap to go, but Ben, do you see that changing?
No, not at all.
Currently holds the fastest lap. Just go on board with him and see how he's doing these lap times that he's been doing.
So what a display at the front by Kyle, really. Regan will be ruining that strategy choice, I think. I want to give a huge shout out to Puppy.
Yeah, I want to give.
As long as he keeps it in P8.
Yeah. He can keep his shout out.
Oh yeah. Up 6 positions, P8. So the highest climber on the grid today. Kyle gets the car slowly rotated through turn 9. That was the only corner left that was going to cause any bother, because he now brings it home the last couple of corners, really. As we got a yellow sector 1. That is Liam spinning around without a wing. So Kyle, Evil Hunter, approaching the final corner now. Hopefully you're on board with him for his moment.
I am on board with him.
Stamps on the loud pedal now.
As he starts to finish the race.
And he wins the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Regan
the fireworks go off for him. Regan, 3-second penalty, 4.8 seconds behind. I'm sure the Crown Prince of Bahrain is clapping up in it.
No, your podium prediction.
Oh, shut up! Yes, Rayner.
Bravo, boys.
Thank you.
No, that was not to you that I was saying anything to.
Thank you. Honestly, I feel a little bit emotional.
Oh, Jesus.
We got the podium right. Yeah, what a great win by Kyle. Puppy gains a position on the final lap with Swiss P7. I'm going to go on record and say it. Puppy's my driver of the day.
Well, what happened there? Just everything.
I don't know if you heard who my driver of the day was.
No, I didn't. I think it's Puppy. Benjamin? I'm going to presume you said Puppy.
Did you hear who my driver of the day was?